Hello everyone and welcome back to Chronos Plays Phoenix Wright Justice for All. Today, Ms. Andrews here is actually testifying about the guitar case. I don't remember too clearly because I was a bit dazed. I suppose I must have opened the guitar case after I knocked the vase over. It's not a big deal though, right? The case was empty after all. As for why I opened the case, I don't even know. I'm assuming she was looking for the suicide note then. It looks like this really wasn't a very important point. This is wastefulness. This wastefulness is such a familiar feeling by now that it's almost comforting. Yeah, anyways, you know I've defeated you many times with this wastefulness, whatever you want to call it. But I'm gonna go ahead and start cross-examining. Using any to change the topic. Or anyway, a convenient escape for a weak man. Alright, well, I'm just gonna keep, pressing. During your testimony just now, did you remember those events clearly in your mind? Well, you see... Are you sure you are the one who opened the guitar case? She's waiting for someone to tell her if she should answer or not. Sounds like her dependent side is taking over. Well, Ms. Andrews? Yes, it was me. So, you opened the guitar case then? Yes, well, maybe. Why did you open the guitar case? She was clearly looking for the suicide note then. Huh? Miss Carita's dead body was right there in front of you, wasn't it? I would think that the first thing you would do is call for help, not open a guitar case. As the witness has said multiple times, when she found the dead body, she was dazed. Dazed and confused? Maybe I was curious to know if the bright red guitar was alright or not. I thought maybe the criminal took it. Why would she care about the bright red guitar? But getting back on the topic... Was it really empty? I was just wondering if maybe when you opened the case, the car was still inside. We already know that it wasn't, though, right? It was in the studio? How long have you been a lawyer, Mr. Wright? Have a little professionalism. The bright red guitar was found at the studio. These trials would be over in half the time if you would just pay attention. Yes, pay more attention, Mr. Wright. Sorry, I was just pressing. It's what I do. Was it because you were shocked and dazed, or dazed and confused, discovering the victim's body? Yes, that's probably it. I'm not going to get anywhere if I continue pressing her like this. The only way to make her talk is with evidence. I guess I should give it a try. Come on, Phoenix. We can't afford to let up on her now. I wasn't planning on letting up, but she's at her weakest now, so this is our chance. Yeah, if we had a weapon to hit her with. I'm sure a weapon is hiding somewhere in the court records, waiting to be found. Okay. So... Yeah, I don't know what you want me to... This... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, but... I mean, that's something I want to talk about, but we don't really have anything to contradict that at the moment, right? I mean, we do, I think. It doesn't have her fingerprints on here, right? It only says it has Bear Carita's fingerprints. That's his name now. It's not Juan, it's Bear's. Oh, but it has fingerprints. Oh! Present. The music stopped. There's no way you were the one who opened the guitar case. Why would you say that? It's elementary, my dear Watson. Because the only fingerprints on the guitar case are those of the victim. Ah. What is it, Ms. Andrews? You shouldn't assume I left fingerprints just because I touched the case. What do you mean? Yeah, what do you mean? What if I were to tell you I was wearing gloves at the time? Gloves? But why would you be wearing gloves at that time? It was the night of the award ceremony, so of course I dressed up for the occasion. Yes, now I remember. I almost sure I was wearing a pair of thin gloves. You're lying. You're lying. You're lying. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, it seemed strange. You were wearing gloves. Isn't that a little strange? Why is that strange? Do you have something that would prove I'm not wearing gloves at the time? Yes. Thank you for the setup. I have your proof right here. This wine glass. The wine glass? You left your fingerprints very clearly on the wine glass. Ah. Even if you took your gloves off when you poured yourself this glass of juice, wouldn't you think that think it was just a little strange that you put your gloves back on just to open the guitar case? Ah, what? Gee, what are you, rude? How did your glasses? Did you clench so hard it shattered your glasses? I mean, normally you just, I don't know, pull out your back if you clench hard enough, or pop a roid, but at the same time, how to destroy your glasses, lady? Order, order. Someone clean up that glass. Looks like you hit the nail on the head this time. Looks like I hit her glasses. What do you mean? I believe that guitar case plays a very important role here, but it's just an empty case. I wonder if it was really. I wonder if it was really empty though. Yeah, it probably has a suicide note in it, right? But the guitar. I've been yelled at about it. Isn't that at the studio? Phoenix, drop all your presumptions. What was in the guitar case was not the bright red guitar. You don't mean it was the white guitar? Wait, that's not right either. I admit it would be unnatural for someone to do that. So the witness was not wearing gloves, despite the fact that on the case... Your Honor, this is obviously the defense's usual misdirection tactic at work. Steer the court towards an unrelated topic and lull us into his misguided objection, you're right. No, Your Honor. Please recall that Ms. Andrews had testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case, which means the case was closed when the crime took place. However, it is wide open in this photo of the crime scene. I'm sure this guitar case has some relation to the murder. If you're so sure, Wright, then I'm sure you can somehow sustain your outrageous claim, correct? Please, enlighten us as to why the guitar case has anything to do with the murder. Can you do that, Mr. Wright? Well, let's suppose for a second that the bright red guitar was not the only thing that could have been in that case. The bright red guitar was not being the only thing. You don't mean the bright black guitar? What? So you intend to push your theory that the case was not empty? Is that it, right? I wouldn't say something I didn't intend to prove. Deflate that head of yours. You haven't proven anything yet. Now then, let's have it. What was inside the case at the time of the murder? No idea. I want to say suicide note, but we don't have anything that says suicide note, right? Huh. Maybe this? Maybe? bear's cute at the bottom. We already looked at that. The hotel map guide. I'll try this. It's only 1 point of health, so it's not that big a deal. Then after, well, I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea what could possibly be inside. And why would something like that be inside a guitar case? It says hidden, right? Let alone this one. Why, Mr. Wright? Why? Well, I just thought it might be possible. I have a suggestion. Why don't you put that in the void where your brain is supposed to be? Yes, and never bring it out again. I'm gonna bring it out when it needs to, goddammit. Can't a foolish fool get some love? Do you still think you can prove your theory? Alright. Only bears, Karita's fingerprints. I don't know. Actually, now that I think about it, we're trying to prove, like, that she was in the suit, right? And she would be wearing gloves if that was the case. But she got her fingerprints on the glass. But that wouldn't make any sense. I think. I guess I'll try presenting this photo. Like, she went in without the outfit on and left with the outfit on. Are they trying to suggest that it was in the suitcase? Or not suitcase, but the guitar case? Apparently, this is a photograph. Yes, look at this photograph. But what is important is what is in that photograph, Your Honor. In this picture. It doesn't take a genius to see what I mean. What I'm proposing is, inside the guitar case was not what I presented. Was the Nickel Samurai, the hero's very own costume. What? Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Right. Are you saying that when it's opened the guitar case to take out a costume? What insane point would there be to doing something like that? That insane point would be to wear the costume, of course. Ms. Andrews put it on to hide her identity so she could make her escape. After all, you couldn't let anyone see you leave, could you, Ms. Andrews? I refuse to accept your theory. Do you have anything to support such a preposterous idea? Just outside the door was an investigative photographer who was starving for a big scoop. And in the end, she managed to get this shot, correct? You mean this photo? Order! Order! It looks like we've wandered into yet another mess. Again, haven't we? Nice job, Phoenix! Well, you know my strategy. Guess wrong the first time and then somehow get it the second or third or fourth time. So the real murderer was hiding inside a costume. Wait a second, Your Honor. The Nickel Samurai's costume would have been Mr. Matt Engarde's. Why would something of the defense be in the victim's room? And inside the guitar case of all places. True. It is a little baffling. Mr. Wright, the court would like to hear your thoughts. What was the Nickel Samurai costume doing inside the guitar case? I guess maybe he stole it? Wait, no. Maybe, wait. We saw a picture earlier, I can't freaking remember it too. Didn't we see a picture of Matt sleeping? Was he in his outfit? And he was dressed up in his outfit when he got arrested, so it was a spare costume? Mr. Engarde did not take his costume off during the break period. In that case, the costume we were talking about was a spare one. What? Then, are you saying that on the night of the murder, there was 2 Nickelback samurai costumes at the Gatewater Hotel? Yes, that is what I'm saying. And how do you explain the costume that was inside the guitar case? It would mean that the victim himself had brought the spare to the ceremony on purpose. Oh, the conference! Was Juan gonna do something with the... like, confess something as the Nickel Samurai? But why? The victim, Mr. Kurita, was the jamming ninja. Why would he secretly bring the Nickelback Samurai spare costume with him? What could be the reason behind such a peculiar act? And therein lies this sticking point. What are you mumbling to yourself about? Have you just been rambling on this time without any sense of inner monologue? Huh? No, I just... Mr. Wright, please explain yourself. Why do you think the victim had the Nickel Samurai spare costume? Phoenix, are you sure you can explain this one? I think, maybe. Think carefully before you answer. And answer with gusto. I believe in you. Alright, this is what I think. The reason the victim brought the Nickel Samurai spare costume to the hotel was... What is this? On the night of the murder, after the stage show, the Nickel Samurai was going to hold a special press conference. A press conference? Yes, the Nickel Samurai was supposed to confess something at the conference. I heard about this as well. For once, you're not making something up, right? I don't make up anything. I present facts. But what struck me as strange was that Mr. Engarde himself said he had no idea he was supposed to be holding a press conference that night. But how could that be? The way I see it, that can mean only one thing. The conference was set up by none other than the victim, Mr. Juan Kurita himself. The victim? Yes. The spare Nickel Samurai costume was prepared for this very conference. Mr. Kurita was going to hold the press conference as the Nickel Samurai. Can you just get, like, a studio-made outfit like that when you don't work at the studio? I know you can make your own, but, like, even very professional cosplayers that almost 100% get the outfit right, there's usually small details that are noticeable that they're not quite there, right? For the most part. So, I would be surprised if he made this on his own, or bought it in the store for that matter, and suspected it to be, like, 100% accurate. He was going to dress up as the Nickel Samurai and hold a conference, but why would the victim do such a thing? That's something I don't quite know yet, however. What I am concerned with right now is what he intended to reveal at the conference. The Nickel Samurai was going to confess something, and by confess, I'd wager he was going to reveal something about himself. Which means that Juan Kurita, posing as the Nickel Samurai, was going to speak about Matt Engarde. Yes, I guess that is what it would mean. But if that was the case, that's not a confession. That's a public disclosure. Miss Andrews, I can see why you're pros at what you do. Pardon me? Yes, just as you say, the press conference was set up by Juan. Miss Andrews, please offer up an explanation for this. I was the one who he asked to help set it up. And the person he prepared the second costume for him, that was also me. You? Juan had bet everything on the Jammin' Ninja this year, and if he lost the Grand Prix, he was going to make sure Matt was going to go down with him. That's what he thought anyway. He was going to ruin him, huh? It looked like somehow Juan had his hands on a secret so powerful that it would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed. What? And do you know what the secret of Matt Engarde's is, Miss Andrews? That's something only Juan knew. I don't know what it is. Ah, I see. I've probably been coming off quite suspicious to everyone, but that's to be expected. I've been trying to protect Matt after all. Protect Matt? And yet again, another strange bit of truth comes to light, it seems. Ms. Andrews, if you could, please tell us the truth about your behavior. Yes, Your Honor. I understand. I feel like if someone gets caught lying like this, they would probably just be thrown off the bench. Or held in contempt. From the moment I saw the crime scene, I had a feeling that Matt was the murderer. Matt had to kill Juan no matter what. And he didn't have an alibi for what he was doing at the time of the murder. My thoughts were confirmed by the evidence, of course, the button and the knife. But I'm Matt's manager, so I felt that I had to protect him. That does account for everything. Well, I am the logical type. We're finally seeing her true self. She's more nervous than a scared rabbit. If the defense can find no fault with this testimony, I'm ready to make a ruling. What do you mean? Are you actually insane? We just caught this girl lying twice. And she's messed with the crime scene twice. And apparently she set up her client to get ruined by Juan. And you're just like, oh, well, now I believe her completely. What? Looks like somehow everything has swung the opposite end of the scale again. Somehow? That just means I have to put more weight into this and turn her logic upside down. Protecting Matt. Would you say that your intuition that was your intuition speaking to you? Don't confuse my methods of reasoning with your own. If you want to prove that someone did something, you need 3 things. 3 things. A motive, an opportunity to commit the crime, and finally decisive evidence. And if you think these 3 things through, the answer becomes quite clear. But you'd already known that, Phoenix. They didn't teach that to us in school, at least not from what I remember. What? May I continue now? I guess. So you'd say this need came from the press conference? Yes. Do you know why Juan chose the event in that hotel for the conference? Because that was when he could cause the most damage to the public's beloved Matt Engarde. And you knew of this plan, didn't you, Ms. Andrews? Yes, because I was the one who set up the conference and prepared the costume. But I'm sure Mr. Engarde himself didn't know anything about the press conference. Oh, really? Can you show me any proof that he didn't know about the press conference? Anyway, the important thing here is that this information was not in your testimony. Yes, I agree. Ms. Andrews, please correct your testimony, if you please. Grasping at straws now, are we, Mr. Wright? No, I'm grasping at the truth! Has Mr. Engarde done something that hurt or betrayed you personally? Why do you ask? You were the one who helped Miss Caritas with this press conference, and the events was supposed to bring down Matt Engarde, yet you still helped out. The person on trial right now is Mr. Engarde, right? What the witness was thinking helping the victim was with his plans is none of our concern. Yes, it is! Yes, it is! In any case, this means that the defendant had a motive to kill. Why do I keep doing this to myself? No, that was a completely valid question. The judge should be like, objection overruled. Shut the fuck up. Answer the, Phoenix Wright, Andrews. Because that is, like, a valid question to get answered. But didn't you already testify earlier that Mr. Engarde was taking a nap in his room? Are you telling me now that that, too, was a lie so you could cover Matt, Mr. Engarde? I'm not telling you anything of the sort. When I went to get him from the show, he honestly was sleeping. However, as to whether he was sleeping the entire time, that I cannot say. I was too busy setting up the stage at the time. I keep trying, but I can find no flaws with what Miss Andrews has said. In fact, that she just could be a complete liar, given that she has done nothing but lie since she's taken the stand. I can't say the same for some people in this courtroom, however. She's just glaring straight at Mia. He's glaring at you, smart guy. I don't know why he's glaring at me, unless he's a complete goddamn idiot. You can hardly call the knife decisive evidence. The fingerprints on the knife could very well be a clever camouflage. Then, what about the button? The button? It's clear from the crime scene that the victim and his murderer fought. And during the fight, their killer ripped the button from the Jammin' Ninja's costume. You're talking about this button, correct? Button was found in the elites of Matt's Hakama, isn't that correct? I would think that makes it very decisive evidence. Yeah, if you didn't place it there while he was sleeping. Looks like you were outfoxed again, Mr. Wright. Anyway, the knife doesn't prove a thing. Please fix your testimony. Can't stand the sight of a man who can't gracefully accept his defeat, and I can't stand the sight of a liar. Thank goodness Mia can still look at me. With an icy stare, yes. Mr. Andrews, for Mr. White's sake, please add this information to your testimony. And how do you know that? When the ends of the thread on the button and the costume were matched up, they were found to fit together perfectly, or so I heard. I've heard that before too. But why would Miss Andrews know about this case down to such a fine detail? Don't look at me like that, just because I'm prepared and you're not. And I thought I had her this time for sure. This is just confusing to me. She's been proven to be nothing but a liar this entire time, yet all of a sudden, like, everything she says is 100% fact, and I'm the bad lawyer for questioning her. That doesn't make any sense. Since she's taken the stand, she's lied. Constantly. Constantly. And she's been proven to be a liar. Constantly. Yet for some reason, we're just supposed to, like, everyone's believing her now, which makes no sense. But press. But what you really did was stab the guy in the back, didn't you? And at the worst possible time. Who's to say she really stabbed the guy in the back as you put it? The witness could have disclosed things about Mr. Engarde at any time. Why, then, would she wait until there was a large audience before doing it? It's the same reason why Mr. Carita planned such an elaborate conference. Ms. Andrews wanted to cause Mr. Engarde as much damage as she possibly could. The witness bears ill will towards the defendant. Overruled. This isn't the Phoenix Wright wax philosophical power hour. And please stop slandering the witness. No, she did it herself. As I expected, Ms. Andrews' testimony seems pretty solid. Oh, that's not Mia. No, not really, to be honest. Really, because to me, it sounded a little wishy-washy. Wishy-washy? Well, I guess we'll see if I can press a little more. You should know this by now, but you'll need strong, decisive evidence to make your talk. Got it, Chief. I'm gonna pin you down this time, Ms. Andrews. I don't like the phrasing on that one. Okay, so we gotta get decisive evidence. But I guess we'll do that next time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you then.